Good morning. Right. First things first, I need to have a clear of my workshop stroke shed. I am at the point now where I'm trying to find things and I can't even find things. I couldn't even find the holder for my phone camera. This is how bad it's got. So I'll show you around in a sec. It is just despicable. But you guys know what it's like. You get stuck into something. Oh, well, I don't need. Where's my hammer? Where's my screwdriver? Before you know it, you're knee deep in spanners, aren't you? Well, I've got to tidy up. I've bought a few things down out the loft. This is how well it's going, because it's getting to that stage now where I can start to funnel things back onto the machine. This piece, if you can remember, I had to araldite these two bolts on, and I threaded the new threads back into the existing, and I gave it I think it was 3 coats of Hammerite smooth silver, which is a good paint to use. And I was also going to seal around these seams where the two pieces are spot welded together. I haven't done that yet. What I'm going to do, in past restorations, I had a can of like black tar stone chip spray. I'm going to do that to this, simply because this is the part that goes under the back. This is literally the rear mudguard, isn't it? The part that you don't see that dies from rust. It gets killed. Look at it. It's under all that silver. It is scabby as hell, isn't it? So that's the first job once I've tidied the shed. I'm looking for my engine bolts. I cannot find the blighters anywhere. So they're here. I'm sure they're here somewhere. Brian's a good chap, and he waxed all the things in the bottom, and that's it. So that I'm 99.9% sure they're here, but whereabouts here is, I don't know. So anyway, I'll get a quick look around, and then we'll crack on. Oh dear. It is just an absolute shithole. And I've even put loads of stuff outside already, so there's no excuse, is there? But look at it, it's just a freaking shambles. I mean, what is that? What's going on there? I don't know. There's bits and pieces lying everywhere. There's, you know, just stuff. And as for this lot over here, it's just stuff, crap on top of crap on top of crap, isn't it? Look, what am I working in here? Oh, I'm a scruffy sod. Look, it's just crap everywhere. But I think that's where it's a reflection of where my head's been at. It's been scrambled. Most importantly, my knee. I literally can't kneel down now. It's getting to that point. It's affecting my work, it's affecting my rest, and affecting my play. So come on, doctors, get those appointments going. I know COVID's really kicking ass. And that's another thing, being a bit political for a minute. You know, when you watch the news, you see that graph where there was the big spike at the start of COVID, and then it's gone down, and now all of a sudden there's a tiny little blip going back up where they're counting again. Well, they're not counting the same way they counted the first time. The first time they counted deaths caused by COVID, okay, and it was a huge mountain of a peak, wasn't it? And now they're only showing you a tiny little rise, although it's 6,000 odd plus a day going up. You're seeing a tiny little spike because they're only counting COVID deaths that were initially tested and proved positive for COVID before they passed away. That is wrong. They should count it the same way as they counted the first time. It's just wrong. Politicians, if you're watching, do the right thing. Do the same graph the same way as you did before. Then Joe Public can see how bloody serious this is. That's not right. It's just not right. It's giving people false readings, isn't it? People are going, oh, it doesn't matter. Look, it's only a tiny little spike. Now look how it used to be. No, if you had the same counting science going on that you did the first time, This peak will now be higher than the original peak. That's the size of it. So don't be fooled, people. It is a lot worse than the government are letting you see. So sad. It's wrong. Anyway, I've got some cleaning to do. Tatty bye. Right. Putting things straight now. I have removed this rubber seal which went on the bottom of the yoke, and I have now tapped that bush down, the bearing down flat onto the sealing washer, so we can crack on with that. That should be proper now, shouldn't it? I should have the right amount of thread at the top of the stalk for this to bolt down to properly. There's going to be no movement when you're going along. It's not going to suddenly sink 4 mil and collapse the front end. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So I need to now get that tree back in the bottom of the headstock and get the top yoke on, and I can now get my forks on, which are all dressed up with gaiters. And once they're in, I need to put the oil back in the forks, don't I? Some new fresh oil. Yeah, that's one thing it's easy to forget, but it's a lot easier to undo those fork top bolts once it's clamped in the clamps. Yeah, it's not good doing it like that, is it? So yeah, I think it's 150 mil, wasn't it, in each side? So I've got that to do. I have given Mr. Wheel a seconda coto. So there we have it. It's looking rather jiffy. So I'm quite happy with that. I'm still debating whether to go black with them. I don't know. I know if I don't, I'm going to regret it when I finish, but then it's not going to be original. But oh my God, I don't know. And I need to find out that colour code. Can you see the blue now, the greeny metallicness of that under this dark light? Okay, right, I've got the wheel hubs to grind down. I might just, with this bottom hub, the rear hub, I might just get the nitromors on there and give it a freaking good dashing, because using this dentist tool to try and get all that out of there is just, it's just beyond madness, isn't it, really? I mean, not even I'm prepared to do that, not at the moment. So yeah, I'm going to whack some nitromors in there, agitate it a bit, and see how we go from there. Should be alright, shouldn't it? Crikey, it's not the end of the world, is it? So, and then they're going to be ready for paint, really, aren't they? Once the hub's done, and I've got that second rim cleaned, ready for paint and painted, a third coat on there, second and third on the other rim, I can lace the wheels, and it's kind of all systems go, chuck everything back on the bike, isn't it then? Which I'm looking forward to be honest. Right, yes, some of you guys guessed that the next project is going to be a Suzuki FZ50 moped. It's not actually a moped, is it? Because it hasn't got pedals. But there we go. I call it a moped because it's like a step through, isn't it? Right. Yeah, it's been donated by my friend Chris. He has a love and a passion, as do I, for smaller bikes. Obviously, you know, when I was a lad, I used to bomb round fields, and as we all did, didn't we? On cut down Honda C50s or PEDs, or, you know, just go and create havoc. You know, we look at the teenagers today turn, okay, not the ones that are stealing things, but the, you know, turn around on bikes and we go, ooh, naughty boys, but we did it. We did all that stuff. So it's just a bit of nostalgia. Chris is up to his ears in it, and he needs a bit of space in his garage workshop, because he has a few on the go himself, and he said, would you like to have this FZ50 and do what you can with it? It is very sad state. It is, you'll see it. It is knackered, and Chris doesn't think I'll be able to do it, but I said if I can do something with that CD that I had, that I've got, you know, perhaps I should be able to do something with this. It can't be that bad. Chris says it is, but Chris, it can't be. It really can't be. So anyway, mate, thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. It's going to a good home. It's going to be loved, cherished, and ragged around the fields. Anyway, enough bibble babble as usual. Smiles creeping back. It's taken me a while, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm okay, and then I go pain in the backside, I can tell you. Right, paint code. Must find out the paint code. Take it easy. Got me brew already. Right, that's enough for tonight. Look at that. How good is that? Got me cheaters on. I mean gaiters. There is the chassis number. And before I got out the shed, I managed to get the swing arm on and the main stand onto a fashion. Beaten already. Right, next thing, feet up. Right, take it easy. Better turn that down, don't we? Right, back in the shed. How am I getting on? I'm getting on rather well. As you saw the last time, forks are on with the alligators. I have got the swinging arm in and the peg mounting plate and exhaust mounting plate. I need to put the gear change mechanism on there, the foot pegs on there, and rear brake and so on and so forth on there. Now what I want to do to get the rear brake mechanism in on the right hand side there, I need to raise the swinging arm up from its resting place down there. It needs to be up here. So I always say, don't throw anything away until you've finished your job, because I managed to find a couple of shocks, as you can see there, for a Honda CB250. Well, I didn't actually say it, just said Honda CB250 shocks. I don't know if they're marked up as RS or not, but anyway, they are not the same as an RS. Okay, they're similar, i.e. that slides over this big fat pin there, and that's the top of the new ones. Okay, so what I was thinking of doing was popping that metal bush out of there, getting a socket on there with a threaded bolt and a little washer in there, winding it so it pulls this bush out of there. Okay, and then taking that one out and popping it in there. That was my plan, as I've sort of cleaned these up respectively anyway. But if we look down here, they are different widths. Okay, so my next trick is to try and disassemble the old suspension struts, dampers, and put this part, because this part literally screws onto that shaft there, and undo this and screw that one onto there after cleaning up the alloy. Now it's a bit of an ask, isn't it? But I've got nothing to lose. If I do use these as is with those bushes in, those bushes are going to stick out quite a way there, aren't they? And it's going to be a bit sort of not as solid as that will be. So anyway, I'm going to give that a try first of all, and I'll take you through it as I do it, if I can get these apart, because they are quite toasty, aren't they? They're knackered. So I'm going to try and do that. And also, once this is apart, I can actually get in and clean the inside of the springs, because as you can see, they are pretty crusty in there. So I should be able to polish all that up as well. If it works, it works. Hey, brilliant. If it doesn't work, then I will just have to bite the bullet and fit them as they are. Okay, so I'm going to try and kill 2 birds with 1 stone there. I'm so glad that these shocks have been sat outside, these old ones, for what, weeks, since the bike's been here pretty much. I found them straight away, the new shocks, and I threw the old ones outside. I've been so itching to throw them away. I thought, no, keep them till the end, you never know. Today, again, I will put the nitromors on this. I didn't put them on the other day because I wasn't in the right mood for it, and I didn't want to just put it on and leave it till it goes hard, because that's pointless. I'm hoping to get some paint on these today once I've cleaned it up, and then we can use those combined with rims to get a wheel on the front wheel, hopefully, because it gives the bike some sort of balance, doesn't it? Because I've got the main stand. Once it's on the front wheel, I can then work on the rear end and start putting all these bits and pieces back on the bike, which is fantastic. What I was thinking also, the engine, what have I done with the engine really? I've cleaned it up and I've painted it. And I've set the valves and I've checked the clutch. Now I've been through the book and the clutch, I've read all the measurements, the given clearances of the clutch and things like that, and it is within tolerance, so that's pretty good. One thing I didn't do was torque things up properly. Now I think at the time I said you feel it, you get the feel for it, but I do remember using Mr. Wolf not only to do up the clutch retaining bolt nut, and I used the same Wolf to do the rocker cover bolts down. Well, they are completely different torque differences by quite a bit, so that's not, I'm not overly happy about that. And there are an awful lot of clearances which I could have done whilst I was in there. And another thing is, I put the pickup back in, the electronic pickup. I rebolted that to the outside of the engine casing, and I installed it, but I don't remember seeing the electronic rotor, the rotor on the arm. So in the back of my mind is, have I done that? It's one of those things, you get in you leave your house, you get in your car, you drive off, have I locked the front door? Have I locked the front door? And you go back because you're just not sure, and it's not worth the risk. I think I'm going to have to do this again on this engine, in which case I will get my torque wrench out and I will properly torque up the bolts that I've kind of felt tight, not book tight. So there's quite a bit to do, isn't there? Another thing I wanted to do was on the clutch. You've got the 4 springs, haven't you? The book even gives you the correct distance that the spring should be. Now if they're, and it gives you the tolerances, you know, maximum, minimum tolerances. So if it's less than the minimum tolerance, I'm going to need to replace the clutch springs. Otherwise you could get clutch slip, because springs get tired over the years, as some of you know. So yeah, might give it a spring clean, mightn't I, and sort that out. So there's lots to do, lots to think about. Whilst I'm fanning around, I've also got a digital vernier gauge. Now, buggered if I can find this sausage. It's got to be here somewhere, isn't it? Anyway, I've been up on the loft. I've got the parts down out the loft, which I bagged up earlier, and I cleaned up the seat, speedo, front sprocket cover, side panels, all bits and pieces like that, front mudguard, this sort of thing. So I need to get that bracket for the front mudguard, wherever it is, the shiny one. I said I was going to give it a coat of satin, didn't I? So it wasn't sort of blingy. Because if you've got a surface of metal which isn't brilliant and it's sort of pitted and up and down, if you put gloss on it, it shows all that up. If you put a sort of matte colour on it, those lumps and bumps disappear unless you get up really close. So that's my philosophy there. I'm still having trouble finding the paint code, because I will need to add paint to this once I have done that corner repair. and tarted it up a little bit. So still quite a few things to do. Right, okay, I'll pause it there and get myself a brew, and I'm going to actually do some work. Yeah, okay, well, take it easy, and I'll see you in the next clip. Coulda stick, coulda stay. I do all the shopping, I do all the mopping. Who's that one, my friend? Right, I have given up trying to take this off of there because it is an absolute nightmare. As you can see, I have robbed the bushes, both ends, and they are all nicely tucked away in bed up there. So that can now be filed under B for definite bin. Right, I am going with the originals. The ones I purchased, although they're thinner, I come up with a plan, a cunning plan made by a cunning fox named Mr. Cunning. What I'm going to do is, as you see, when I go to put this on there like so, we have got quite a gap here, haven't we? Okay, so I've come up with this solution. So if I pop that on there, and then I pop that on there, okay, bear with, that leaves me that much gap, and then I pop that one on there, and that completely is flush with that. Who's the boy? Right, stop moaning at me, that's all I can do, it's the best I can do with it. Right, okay, so the back, see the indicator brackets sit on there, so they got a nice flush, what's the word I'm looking for? It's gone. A nice flush surface to sit to and press against when I do the outer nuts up. So that's great. I've also given these a lick of nitromors. Oh no, he's using nitromors on aluminium. Oh my god, what a perk! Don't be too hasty. Don't be too hasty. Up here for thinking, down there for dancing, and there for a romancing. Right, it's now going to go in the parts cleaner. It's only had 10 minutes on there. I've agitated it with me stiff one. So parts cleaner, get rid of all that acid and see what I'm left with. Hopefully I'll be ready for paint at the end of it. Right, watch this space. Whew, I've been busting my nuts, I'll tell you. Let's get outside in the sunshine. What we've been up to. Well, that wheel is completely and utterly clean. It's even been in the kitchen sink for a rinse off with some bubbly. Right, quality? How you diddling, old boy? He's not well, he's got a bad bottom again. I don't know. It's the glands on his back, on his bum. That has been in parts cleaner, it has been under the brush, it has been brass brushed, toothbrushed, back in the parts cleaner, it's been in the kitchen sink, and they are literally just drying off. I'm going to hair dry them now actually, and see what I'm saying, that poor little sod. I don't know, poor little monkey. So I need to give them a bit of a blow. Bit of a blow job to dry them off completely, and then I can give them a squirt of my satin black, and I can't wait. Going to give them 2 or 3 coats, possibly 3 because of the hubs, and then I start lacing wheels. I am so looking forward to that. Okay, stay there. That's the old wheel weights that come off the rims. 25 grams. Flipping heck, I'll weigh that in, I reckon. Might get half a bacon sandwich for that. Right, okay, so hair dryer. Cracking. that's all this is. I was really not happy with the finish after I got it out the sink and it came out the parts cleaner. There was still an awful lot of that, like what I like to call line scale, if you like. Just no good. So I'm just taking a few hours using this Ferrex tool just to get the crap off, because if I don't, the paint's not going to last 5 minutes. Wicked little bit of kit, it really is, and it's actually relaxing, it's sort of therapeutic almost. And I've even managed to grind off the casting ridges in there. But there we are, I've got many hours of work left, so I couldn't get into there, look, but now I have, let me see. It's really good. I need to find a different end though, because this one isn't ideal for getting in certain knickknacks. But there we go. I reckon it's tea time. So I'm going to turn that off, let that little machine cool down. What a fantastic bit of kit that is. I am so pleased with that. Well, there's the front hub. That's brilliant. And I've put it on the old bearings, so I can just spray it, you know, without worrying about the bearings. So I can just tap those out when it's had another coat. It's had 2 already. And then that's ready to lace, because both rims have now had 3 coats, even around the rim there. That's one, and here's the other one. Looking rather jiff, aren't they? I am kind of... I'm still on the fence about the black. If I don't like it, I can always do it black later, can't I? Doesn't take 15 hours to take the spokes out, so that's not a problem. Okay, I've been doing little bits and pieces. Every time I open a drawer, there's something else I find, and I think, oh yeah, that bit goes on there, like that. A couple of bolts, which are the clamps for the forks. There's this little bracket there, which this whole gubbins sits in, with that little rubber grommet I was on about, which goes into the handlebars. So, you know, I'm finding little bits and pieces, and just while I'm waiting for paint to dry or whatever, I'm just like, poof. You know, I've given this screen a once over with a WD-40 sort of substitute, just to start loosening things up, so I'll be able to take this trim off, you know, with a little bit of heat, tiny bit of heat, and if there was any glue, you know, just to loosen any glue, whatever's in there. But sometimes those plastics, they can crack, and but if you put a bit of WD on there, it's not going to hurt, is it? Just helps it along. I was going to pop the handlebars on here, but I know that every time I walk past, I'll be jabbing myself in the kidneys, wouldn't I? Okay, I'm dancing around there because I've had too many brews, and I need to go to loo. Right, I've lost the little bag of bits because I put them in a sort of like a box like this. Can I find it? Can I bugger? Oh, I don't know. It's like a bullet to the head, isn't it? Right. Look at that work of art. My bike's going to go faster because I'm actually removing metal to lessen the weight of the bike. That's what these little grooves, these little indentations are. It's literally to save weight, isn't it? Every little ounce has been shaved off this bike where it can. So that means I'm going to have to go on a diet as well to get the best out of it, which may or may not happen. We all like a Mars bar now and again, don't we? And some Ribena. Right, I'm going to go have some tea because I'm starting to shake. Take it easy. If this is the end of episode 20, see you later. If it's not, I'll catch you in the next bit. on Sunset Boulevard. I love this tool, it's absolutely brilliant. Where I'm being ultra Allen about this rear hub to get all of the old crust off, where these have been drilled to remove weight to make the bike go faster, my bike is going to be the fastest RS on the street, I can guarantee you that. I'm literally porting this rear hub. I have removed metal from the seams along there and there and so on and so forth. So yeah, I'm putting the hours in on this. I want to go that extra 1 mile an hour. How cool is that? Oops. Right, let's turn that off. As I have finished with that attachment, I do need to use a different attachment to get right in to there. You can see a little bit of crust left there. Paint just won't stick to that, so I'm going to put on, which one am I going to put on? I might put this one on. Let's have a look. Yeah, I reckon that'll do it. I have this type, but I've tried that already, and it's just the angle is just too sharp to get into where I want. So I'm just going to go in there and just jimmy it up and down all the way around, and then all the way around there. So that's 36 holes I need to remelt. Right, let's give you a bit of an update. The wheel rims are done. They are literally drying. Nice and shiny. Can't really get the angle from there. There is proper shine on that. This has had the coats of the plastic coat black. I couldn't find the stone chippy sort of, you know, tarmacy sort of type spray. I got a horrible feeling I used the last lot up on the underside of the CD mudguards, because I've been right through my cabinets. I just can't find it. I'm still, yes, I have tidied up. Look, that's tidy for me. Okay, I'm kind of getting there. That's all tidied up now. I've got nice clean rags in my box behind that cupboard door there. Here's lots of the stuff out the shed, so I can actually manoeuvre myself in there. And I haven't obviously managed to do the car yet because of my flipping knee. So yeah, I'm going to continue with that hub, get some paint down on it, warm it up first with a hot air gun. The paint seems to adhere better with a warm surface to stick to. Right, so that's to do. The front hub is ready to go. The spokes are ready to go. The rims are ready to go. I'm going to give them good 24 hours to let that lacquer cure on there before I start fanning around with it. Okay, I can put that bracket there. That has had a coat of satin black, so I can reattach that to this. Now I can get that into the forks, ready to accept the front wheel. Yeah, it's going to be a lot easier to do that now than what it is to do it when the wheel's in. Okay, I'm getting there. Still haven't found them bloody engine bolts, but they've got to be here. They will turn up. I can promise you. I have other bolts, new ones, but they are literally 20mm too short. So I might have to heat them up in the vise and stretch them a bit, you know, a bit of a tug. Okay, not sure how far I've got into this video so far. This is episode 20, is it? I think so. Right, I need to have a look back and see what I've done so far and see what the timage is like. I don't really want to go another hour-long video because I know you lot start snoring. Anyway, thank you for your re-guesses. I have made a note of them all, so if I did miss you before, thank you guys for commenting that I have missed you before. It's all in order. It was absolutely brilliant to see Matt, a good old friend, just come up, just turned up, knocked the gate. Dog went ballistic, so he had to go inside. And we shared a coffee. Well, we didn't share a coffee. We had a coffee and a good old catch up and a good natter. He did have a look, and you can look at that if you like, and you can pause it there, and that is to throw you guys off. I have the actual hourage indoors. I'm writing it down every day because I forget to do it on this one. It's only when I get indoors I think, oh shit, I haven't done that. So yeah, pause that all you like, total that up. It's a bit of a giggle. I don't know if Matt's took a picture of that and he's going to go home and go, oh yeah, it was so and so. No, I'm only joking, Matt. I know you're good to your word, aren't you? Right, it was really good to see you, mate. Take it easy, drop in any time you like. Goes to anybody else. If you want to pop round, just drop in, say hello, see what it's like in this shed of creation. I would love to see you. Okay, right, take it easy. Catch you a bit later. Right, look at the difference this tool does to these skanky balls. Oh, come over here then. I don't want to stretch my lead, that's all. Where are we? Nice and clean, dirty. What a difference. Look at that, fantastic. Let's do a couple more. The devil's in the detail, isn't it? This is the difference between the paint lasting one season or the rest of the bike's natural life. So an extra hour put in here and there, literally just to future-proof the bike. And buy it some more time. So happy with this tool, it's brilliant. It's my new favourite tool. Sorry, parts cleaner, you've been knocked off your perch, mate. I'm not putting hardly any pressure on this, although it might sound like I am, I'm really not. And that's it, I've been round in a circle. I'm just going to turn that off while I wrap this vid up. That is so much better, isn't it? Look at that, that's absolutely beautiful. Paint is going to stick all around there. I'm going to go over it all with solvent in a second on a dry lint-free rag, just to literally. I'm going to blow it off first with me hot air gun, just to get all the dust out the crevices and everything. And once that's done, I am literally going to whack the paint on. You see this dullness where it's been cleaned off but left? It's gone dull already. I need that all to be one uniform colour, which is bright, so I know that the paint is going to adhere to that. Like Andy Cousin said, the best paint for alloy is acid etched paint, because it sort of cuts through that dullness, that oxidisation, and it bites. I unfortunately don't have any oxide paint, acid etched paint, sorry, I beg your pardon. So I'm going to do my best with the solvent to get rid of everything, and then I'll be able to stick some paint on, mask up those bushes and the nuts and the bolts there, the drive bolts. Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I've spent an hour thinking about it. I've spent many hours on this hub. but it's going to pay dividends in the end, isn't it? The paint's going to last longer, it's going to look better. There we go. You get in, you get out what you put in, said the actress to the bishop. Right, enough of that tomfoolery. Take it easy as I see you again. Don't forget, keep smiling. If you can't keep smiling, just stick your fingers up. It's always good, isn't it? Take care, guys. See you soon. Right, after coat number 1. Look at that finish. Absolutely beautiful. I'm well happy with that. That's not bad at all, is it? Worth all those hours and hours of prep. Literally. I can't afford to get things aqua blasted. It's just not my scene, is it? Shit. Oh, balls. Oh no, that's 2 blasphemies in 2 seconds. Oh no. Come on, you got to get on there. Well, there we are. That is the end of episode 20. I just thought I'd show you guys the final product. This has only had 1 coat, by the way. It needs 2 coats because you can very, very slightly see a little bit of lightening of the black there. You can see the alloys through it still. So, yeah, pretty good. I am really happy with that. I've worked my fingers to the bone. Uh-oh, music's on. Wrap it up. Okay, now episode 20. See you soon, episode 21. Bye!